This is Mega Man X, the first game in the new series Mega Man X, after Capcom finished pumping out game after game with the classic series. You would think that Capcom would keep pumping out with the Mega Man series for the Super Nintendo, right? They made a new Mega Man series. The new series, being Mega Man X, dropped on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1993 for Japan. In my opinion, I consider 1993 to be one of the greatest years of gaming. The game begins with an intro that you wouldn't normally see in classic Mega Man. You get to see the stats of Mega Man X, his equipment, and his power, followed by a loud warning flashing red on the screen, going on into the amazing title screen, which is Mega Man X. Mega Man X is the first Mega Man game that gives us an opening stage. The best stage is in a highway, which is already an awesome start. Take that, Sonic. Mega Man X highway stage really helps for a new player to get used to the controls and gameplay, and it does an amazing job at it. I could keep on discussing it, but that would take too long, and I believe that there's already a certain video out for that. At the end of the stage, we meet Vile, who is unbeatable at the beginning of the game, so you have no choice but to nearly lose your health. Luckily, you get saved by a red robot named Zero. These robots are actually called Reploids. Once we get saved, we have 8 bosses. And it's just like classic Mega Man, only this time, these are not robots. These are actually Mavericks. Mavericks are Reploids that have gone insane. These bosses are more advanced compared to the ones in the classic Mega Man series. Now that we got a simple overview out of the way, let's talk about the gameplay. Mega Man X plays differently compared to the classic Mega Man. You control a character named X, who is an advanced Mega Man and Dr. Light's last creation before his passing. X goes by like regular Mega Man, but in this game you are able to get upgrades throughout stages. These upgrades are from Dr. Light, who could somehow predict the future with his holograms. What's the logic here? Regardless, you could use these upgrades and it makes the game very fun, almost like a fast-paced Mega Man game. Now, I want to talk about the soundtrack. I have a lot to say about it. I love the Mega Man soundtrack on the Nintendo Entertainment System, but the Mega Man X soundtracks on Super Nintendo is amazing. It is probably one of the best soundtracks for any video game ever. You have amazing songs like these in the game. Give it a listen. This soundtrack is probably one of the best Super Nintendo soundtracks I have ever heard. So the boss battles in the game are not difficult. You need a strategy to help you. Luckily, I just dodged and used the X Buster for most of these bosses. Their attacks are different that of classic Mega Man. We get a celebratory theme and an amazing weapon get animation. Though I had some backtracking get items, it was not much. There is actually a secret power-up in the game you could get when you get all the items. Being the Hadouken from the Capcom's famous street fighting game, Street Fighter, the Hadouken can defeat bosses in one hit. Just make sure you have full health to use the Hadouken. So now onto the Sigma stages. Sigma Stage 1 has platforming. When you can reach the halfway point, we see Zero take care of Vile. So anyway, Zero gets trapped and you fight Vile, and you lose again. But this time Zero escapes the trap, goes onto Vile and blows up and dies. You fight Vile, but I beat him with a Hadouken. The Sigma stages in the game have you fight Mavericks as you progress the stage, and there's always one boss at the end. The bosses did not take long courtesy of the Hadouken. This is different as before we used to fight bosses in one room with many portals taking us to bosses, but now it seems you fight the Mavericks as you progress throughout the stage. Now we make it to Sigma, and I'm pretty sure he is not making a Star Wars reference, right? So after you fight him, we get the ending to the game, which shows X on a cliff, and he is wondering how long he must keep on fighting because of how a powerful Reploid he is. He then runs home on the highway, which actually looks great for a Super Nintendo game. So that is Mega Man X. I really love this game. It is easily one of my favorite games of all time, and I do not know any other game that could possibly top this. The soundtrack is brilliant, the story is great. I really love how X puts the story into the play of the game. This was new since classic Mega Man focused more on gameplay rather than story. I cannot wait to tackle on the X series more in the future.